Today, I slept in, and I intentionally slept in. I feel really good about sleeping in. Right now, I am headed with my daughter, my oldest one, to our lash appointment. So, getting these babies filled. So, excited about that.
I remember when we were staring at a photo. Don't forget the way you look me in the eyes. And I keep you in my heart. In my heart is where you are. I still think of you. I want you coming back. I remember when we were staring at a photo. Don't forget the way you look me in the eyes. And I keep you in my heart. My heart is where you are. I still think of you. I want you coming back.
This is the book that I am reading this month. This was actually loaned to me from my team member, Min, and I'm really grateful. And I'm going to be reading this book this month. I've got my coffee, got my iPad, and a couple of journals that I trimmed my whole year down to. My favorite Hobonichi weeks. This is always my love. And I've got my functional little guy. This one's kind of new to you, I'm sure, because this is called the Paper Test Designs from Germany. And I love it. It is very structured, however, and so I don't know that it fits me to the point where I need to get rid of my Hobonichi weeks, because this is like just such amazing functional planner for me for the last several years, and so I'm kind of loyal to this guy. I did order some new VDS customized covers for this size and the B6 because I love my B6 size. And my A5 size with my Hobonichi cousin, I have my desktop folio here from Louis Vuitton, so I'm just going to endure that a little bit longer. Not too tough. And then this functional guy is something that we can perhaps talk about a little further in the future videos. So let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more of this planner. But the cover is super soft. It is thick, so it does very well in planner covers. And also it's just very soft to the touch. I don't know how else I can explain this. It's very soft to the touch. I must have gotten this a little bit dirty right here. But yeah, it's just, I love it. If you're in a planner funk, and I've been there many times, it's really terrible thing to be in, just because most of us, when we buy a planner, we buy with an intention to stay productive and really happy using our paper and pens. Well, for me, I've been in a planner funk this year, and it was real. It was really annoying, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and how I kind of overcame everything. I think I overcame everything, but you know, who knows, right? Planner funk is always in. For me, I had to do a couple of things in the order that I'm going to be talking about it, because it took me a minute to realize what I needed and why I needed it and what I'm trying to accomplish out of it. The first thing I had to do was drop everything. I had to drop all my planners and journals and literally stay with one. And that one for me was my Hobonichi weeks. And it might be something else for you, but the reason why is because you want to go back to the planner that you're most familiar with, meaning you probably used it last year or in the previous years before, and you really know the function and the idea behind the planner and how it's set up. I had dropped this for a minute before the planner funk ever even existed. I went back to this because I've been using it since 2020, end of 2020, or 2019 was it? Yeah, because I knew that I had used this before, and I knew that I got a lot of productivity out of it. And so when I chose to go back to this, I had to go back to my old way of planning out my day. I had mentioned that I separated my work and home because I needed that separation, especially when you're working from home and you're working on multiple different types of work projects, if you will, income generating projects. And then you've got your personal life. Well, for me, even within my personal life, there's home admin stuff. And then there are my children's schedules, my schedules, and self-care and all that kind of jazz. And then I've got the travels for both business and for pleasure. And so those are a lot of personal things to take care of in a planner. And I really needed a space separate from my personal and work, or income generating is what I call work. Okay. And so I went back to this and I started just jotting everything down. I went back to my old way of doing things. Just basically on the right side of the Helenistique weeks, you've got these free square pages. And so I was just jotting down all the things, brain dumping in here. And that's how I used this before. So I brain dumped everything on the right. And then on the left, I used it for schedules and appointments, time sensitive things, and day specific tasks. And when I went back to doing that and adding all the income generating tasks and schedules as well as my personal, of course it's going to get overwhelming. I mean, that was the whole point of me separating in the first place, but I did it anyways. And then I started realizing that I needed more space for daily to-do tasks so that I could break down the bigger tasks into smaller chunks so that I could work it out throughout the day. So then I went to the back pages and I started doing that. I started jotting down on each day what I was to do on a daily basis and just really jotting down. And I don't have to copy down everything from my brain dump, but just the bigger tasks that I needed to break down. So I was doing that for both work and for home. And I was really careful and mindful about keeping things separate between work and home again. So when it was my work times and work hours, I was really focused on working through the work tasks. When it was home time, it was my personal time after work or before work, I was using the same pages on the back of the Helenistique weeks for writing down some of the bigger tasks and breaking it down into smaller tasks so that I could accomplish one and check it off. For me personally, I have a thing with checking off things and, it makes me feel accomplished. And so then I keep going, and that's what keeps me motivated throughout the day. And so knowing that, I really utilized this to the max. From there, I realized the second thing that I needed to do then, I was right. I needed to separate work and home. So then I grabbed my B6, and that was when I entered into the second B6. Really, you have to think about it's at this point in time, it's not a matter of which planner do I love the most. No, it's a matter of what is getting me to get things done and things that I need to be paying attention to at a certain time taken care of. And so then I started going back into my B6. That's when I entered the 2, and then the journaling came in. I then was like, okay, I need to start journaling and I need a little bit more space for that. Well, can I accomplish that with one of these 2 planners? If the answer is no, that's when I entered my journal. So this is how, in order, I was able to get things done and get myself kind of to overcome the planner funk. So if you're in that, I realize it's a thing. It's not, like world problems, but at the same time, if you're trying to be creative using your planners and you're not able to, then yeah, it is a world problem actually for you in particular. So that's how I did it. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. And I encourage you to just really drop everything and just go into that one piece of notebook that you're very familiar with from the past and start planning in there and just getting things done, because that's number one. It's not about which planner has the best cover or which planner has the best size to your liking. It's really a matter of just getting stuff done. I mean, you could literally just use a piece of paper to jot down things, and if it gets the work done, then that is the planner for you. you know. So I just wanted to talk about that and encourage you to try some of my ways of overcoming it. And let me know down in the comments below what works for you when you're in a planner funk.